What's up, residents? It's Alistair here with...
Jacob! What's up, everyone?
And we're going to talk about Godzilla Singular Point, the new anime coming out, and we're going to talk about whether we think it's going to be bad, based on the new trailer that came out just last week. So, I guess we'll just let Jacob give us his thoughts. What do you think of the trailer?
Well, that trailer probably got me the most excited for what it could be out of any of the trailers so far. I mean, the first couple of trailers were a whole lot of hinting and didn't really show anything other than like the human characters and a couple quick glimpses of the monsters. But this one, they just pretty much threw up a lot of like what's gonna happen in the series, and I liked it. It looks like the monsters all look like they're gonna be a big part of the series. It's not just gonna be following the humans with 3 minutes of monster action. Hopefully it's not going to be like that, so it's pretty promising. And we finally got ourselves a real good look at the big G-Man in action. Multiple views, not just one. He wasn't hidden behind like the red mist or any of that, and we got the classic like thundering music for him. And yeah, it looks pretty promising. I know this new Godzilla's a little goofy looking in some shots. They just gave him like this giant like eel looking head and mouth. Yeah, he's got like this weird, odd jaw, but we got a glimpse of his atomic blast in this series, and it looked pretty freaking cool. So I think the big guy is gonna be. I think he's gonna be worth watching.
He's a juicy boy. He's got thick legs, massive tail, and a lower jaw, and he's just gurning all the time. It's really, it's an interesting look for the King of the Monsters, and I quite like it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think Toho's doing a really good job at making sure every Godzilla design of their era is different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's like, speaking of how cool this Godzilla is, man, he's got some like cool armor plating, like kind of with his skin or scales. It looks like a species of like rhino or one of those creatures. I can't exactly remember. See if you can pull that up, Al. But they have the same sort of like the way how their skin and their hide has grown. It has like kind of like an armor plated look to it. And it looks like Godzilla's got something like that. So yeah, Toho likes to, they're really liking to experiment with Godzilla right now and all the different looks. I mean, they're just all over the place.
And it's not just Godzilla. True. We have so many other monsters in Singular Point that have their designs changed. And I know a lot of people haven't really caught on to that, I guess. They don't really like some of the redesigns. Anguirus is beautiful in my opinion. I love his redesign.
I love him. I think he's the best one.
I've seen most controversy coming from Rodan. I think a lot of people don't like how it's just kind of a pterodactyl, and Jaguar, which has really stumpy little cute legs now.
Yeah. You know, with Jaguar, like, it was always kind of like a goofy concept because it had like that Power Ranger feel going on. It's just like a dude in tights, kind of supposed to be a robot, but it's like, okay, well, it was always hard to believe it being a robot. And so they made it look like a robot, and from like the waist up, Jaguar looks pretty sweet in this new series. But then yeah, he's got the little stubby little like legs that are kind of funny looking. But I think there might have been a shot in that new trailer that showed him having longer legs. Now it was a quick little cut, so maybe we'll see Jaguar being.
And he was kicking ass.
He was.
He had like a sword or something.
Yeah. He's definitely going to be like the humans' probably tool to fight off the monsters. But it looked like they're going to be able to customize him a little bit and like change him out. But yeah, the stubby legs.
So I reckon the first time we see him will be when he has stumpy legs, and it's probably like their testing phase, and he's probably going to be like bumping around the place, and no one has like faith in him, and then suddenly, he turns into this like really cool badass fighting robot. So
that'd be cool.
I expect to see that arc throughout the series.
Yeah, for sure. And like.
Continue.
Oh yes. Good thing about editing, right? But yeah, I'm excited for the monsters. I think they're gonna look good. I think it's gonna be full of monsters. The human characters seem tolerable. I mean, they seem like your classic kind of stereotypical anime characters trying to tell you deep stuff, and then you got the crazy old man who's like, bah, 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 bah. So it's gonna have that classic sort of anime trope to it, which I'm cool with. That's fine with me.
Yeah. So I think it will appeal to people who like the anime, but should hopefully appeal to Godzilla fans. But there might be some overlap from people that don't necessarily want those things to mix. So obviously I'm going to enjoy it, but I know that you're not necessarily a fan of like traditional kind of like
anime.
Japanese anime.
Yeah, I'm not a super big fan of anime, but I think from what I've seen, as long as they have the monsters and they're cool and it's not boring or too odd, I'll definitely, I'm going to give it a chance regardless, but I may actually
I think it's worth pointing out that obviously, even if the style necessarily doesn't, the anime style doesn't appeal to like most casual Americans, I think their intention, obviously, since it is made in Japan, is to appeal to a much wider general anime audience, which could push Godzilla into a completely new region of fans, which obviously might push the series into a newfound popularity.
Yeah, anything to help the big guy.
So there are some benefits, even if some people won't like it. There's going to be a lot more new fans, and it's not like the people that don't like this anime series are going to just stop liking Godzilla. The worst case scenario is we get a bunch of new Godzilla fans.
Yeah, because it's going into a realm that surprisingly Godzilla really hasn't ever been in before. Like, he's had a lot of cameos in different animes, but you think, like, you know, with anime being originating more or less from Japan and Godzilla the same sort of deal, that they would have done more of this over the last 70 years or whatever that it's been. But it's cool that they're finally giving that a go, and I think the series is going to be good, definitely for like anime standards and even for Godzilla standards. But I think like the only way that you probably wouldn't like this show or think it was bad is if you're just not a fan of this type of anime, which that definitely happens. I mean, I've seen it a lot with Pacific Rim the Black. That was a really good series, and I didn't have too many issues with it, but I seen there was always some people who wanted to complain, and they complain about everything these days, but still there was people who wanted to say, like, I don't like this is bad because I don't like the art style. Well, it's like, that doesn't mean it's bad, it just means you don't like the art style, which means you don't personally like it. So that's kind of how I'm thinking Singular Point will do. I think anime fans who are also Godzilla fans will love it. Anime fans who are new to Godzilla will probably get in on it. And if you don't like anime, you probably won't like it. So that's how I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be bad, though. I think it's going to be worth your time. Yeah.
And I think the, like we were saying about the Pacific Rim art style, I think they're mostly referring to the fact it uses 3D animation to mimic 2D, which I think it did a pretty good job. I think it's probably one of the better series to implement that, but Godzilla Singular Point looks to be practically entirely 2D, which obviously makes it more like traditional anime.
Yeah, classic. I'm excited for Godzilla to reach new levels of awesomeness and, you know, just be introduced to more and more fans. You know, it's really cool how that's happening, how they're trying to really branch out, you know.
Yeah, it's also worth knowing that we're also getting a Kong Skull Island spin-off set in the 1930s, which should be really cool. So it's like, and there just looks like animes are being made left, right, and center now. It seems like a really, probably quite profitable way for all these companies to just make more content based on shows that we love.
Camp Cretaceous, Jurassic has one, Pacific Rim, Godzilla's getting in on it. Everyone, I think it's just easier to make these sort of TV shows, and it's like everyone's watching it, you know, at home, you know, Netflix and all the different streaming services right now, so it's the time that everyone's getting in on it. I'm excited for that Kong series because it sounds like it's pretty much going to give us the true kind of classic King Kong experience again. I believe it's like a crew that gets stranded on the island, and it's in the 30s when the original King Kong takes place.
So obviously it's based on the wreckage that we see in Kong Skull Island.
That's really cool. I'm pretty stoked for that because I love Skull Island and that. And it's
made by the same guys that did the Castlevania series, so it's going to be brutal. There's going to be probably arms being torn off, decapitation.
Really? So it's going to be intense. We're going to see some monsters ripping people apart in anime. Yeah, I heard it here more than likely, guys. You ready for something cool? I'm excited for that. Heck yeah.
So in our opinion, I don't think that Singular Point will be bad at all. I think there'll be lots to love, and even if the theming might not be for you, there's going to be tons of new fans, so it's going to be nothing but beneficial for the series. If you like this video, then give us a like because it helps this video reach a wider audience. And if you haven't already, then subscribe and stomp that notification button to become a resident of DangerVille today. I've been Alistair, and you've been
a DangerVille resident.
Yeah, and we'll see you residents in the next one.